I would say that we're all very curious about the world and what's going on, and hope that we can help through our music sort of be musical ambassadors for America, you know, just to sort of bring an American band to the awareness of a different kind of American band, you know, to the rest of the world, and sort of show a different side of America from what I think our administration has put out there, because none of us in the band obviously agree with our administration. So it's been upsetting to us to see the difference over the past, I guess, 8 years that we've been traveling to Europe between 1999 and the present, and how different it feels now, and sort of the perception of America around the world. So it's exciting to be able to be inclusive, sing in different languages, and connect with the world sort of more directly. It just sort of naturally evolved, I think, because when we first started out, we did a lot of music from foreign films, like Never on Sunday in Greek, and a Japanese song from a film called The Black Lizard on our first album. And so I was, you know, singing in all these different languages. When Thomas and I wrote our first song together, we wanted to write it in French, and we had both studied French, and my great-grandmother is French, so we wrote a song in French, and then just kind of got the bug and kept writing with friends from around the world. Like on the second album, we wrote a song called Una Notte a Napoli in Italian with our Italian friend, and Thomas wrote a song in Croatian with his neighbor from Croatia. So sort of bringing in friends and using what we already knew of the languages we've studied, we kept on going. And then people kind of expected it, because it's, you know, if you sing in French, why don't you sing a song in Arabic when you come to Lebanon, you know? And so we continued writing. Well, many of the musicians in the band are classically trained. Not all of us, but Thomas studied classical piano and always intended on being a pianist, and I don't think he ever thought he'd be in a band writing songs. So he really still, I mean, that's his first passion for music. So it really comes from him, and then the more musicians that join the band from orchestras, it just adds this sort of chamber music quality. And Chopin, I think Thomas first heard the Serge Gainsbourg song Jane B, which uses Chopin, and he loved the way it was pop music, so modern, but with that Chopin in there. So I think he's kind of can't help himself. Anytime he can add Chopin to a to a pop song, he does. Yeah, I think there's a lot of optimism, and yet if you listen to a lot of the lyrics, there's a lot of sadness too, so it's sort of bittersweet. It's sort of about fleeting moments of joy, but also in the context of a sad world or a sad life. So I think we strive to be optimistic. It's sort of a tension between the two. I like the thought that they're like little movies. I mean, I don't think we intended that, but they are very cinematic. I think we are very visual, and the stories, especially I think the song that I wrote with my sister, which is Do Svedania Mio Bombino, is kind of like a film. Mm-hmm. And my sister's a writer, so she's all about story, and that would definitely be a strong element there. But that's a cool result. It's sort of interesting when you write, you don't necessarily always have the intention that comes across in the end.
How do you feel?
It's so hard to classify us. I think because the band there's so many people in the band with completely different musical interests. It's not like we fit into any category. I've been exposed much more to Latin music since I joined the band, but my background is completely more from a pop, rock, alternative sort of background, and the classical music that a lot of the musicians love, I love, but I don't have a huge experience with. So I think we're just like old-fashioned pop in the sense of more like a Hollywood musical, but modern because of how we merge so many styles together. So it's sort of impossible to define.